Honorable Governor Blong, Enga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to take this opportunity to ask this question without notice to the Honorable Prime Minister. Mr. Speaker, I just want to say that we, especially the governors, when we left the PNC-led government, like all members of parliament at the time, we had our own reasons to depart from PNC. One of the fundamental reasons why the governors left the then PNC government is to see provincial governments to be given the respect that is enshrined in the Constitution. The Constitution specifically talks about 3 levels of government. This is the 4th year we are in as a government, led by the Prime Minister. I want to know when this specific demarcation of powers and responsibilities is going to be sorted out. We have many issues in this country. And one of the issues that we have is not following the laws of this country. The provincial governments are there by law. We had a 2nd level of government. For the last 4 to 8 years, the provincial governments are losing the mandated role. So time Mibla losing PNC, Mibla come here, long look in respect, now regain our mandate. Prime Minister, please tell the nation, what is your plan? In the last PNC government, they wanted to devolve powers. And they named three provinces. You coming up now, Giamania. We have mandated leaders to lead the provinces. Now we're not going to be sitting here quiet as our mandate is being robbed. And a lot of us governors left because of the attention that DDA was getting. And this is not against open members or anybody. Mr. Speaker, if you look at it, who is running this country? The country is supposed to be led by the open members. You're supposed to be in committees. This parliament is supposed to be busy during the parliamentary recess. If you come to parliament during recess, there's no action here. Open members must concentrate on providing leadership at a national level and leave provinces to mandated governments. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable, before we ask him, Honorable Prime Minister Long, Sanap na beg him this ask him. Honorable Governor Long, Enga, when I'm asking blue through.
Me ask him, Prime Minister Long, make sure also, talk survey whether there's going to be a devolution of powers or not, to making sure that we effectively perform the duties as allowed by the Constitution of this country. Thank you.
Honorable Prime Minister.
All right, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me say Happy New Year to you. For this year, you assumed as chair for the first time today. Thank you for your presence at the chair one more time. Let me appreciate Governor Enga for asking this important question. I agree with him wholeheartedly that the provincial government system is an important system of government. Lest we forget, it was a Pangu Party policy in 1970s that set up the provincial government system in our country. And I stand here not to be the first Pangu Party leader or leading government to remove or erode the power of our provincial government systems. I am a firm believer that the subnational government level are a strong corner posts of all parts of our country that houses what we have today, our sovereignty. We have seen in the past an element of destabilizing the structure that has been detrimental to our country. None can be more clearer than our current legacy of Bougainville provincial government that we are trying to get over with in new arrangements with the people of Bougainville. And so, Mr. Speaker, from the outset, let me also Governor Ipatas and all governors that the government that I lead have not been working to undermine our provincial governments. In fact, we have been trying our very best to empower our provincial government, work and strengthen our provincial governments. You would have also reference made to the autonomy conversations. Mr. Speaker, if I could inform this House, the previous government's conversations about autonomy was made in a policy vacuum. There was no clear definition of what autonomy entails. And as we arrived on board, my discussions with Eastern Britain, New Ireland Provincial Government, and also Enga Provincial Government, the three provincial governments that were designated to have a greater autonomy, my conversations was you cannot talk about functional autonomy without economic empowerment. What is the relevance of functional autonomy when you are still dependent on Wagani to support those functions? We must match the functional autonomy with an equal fundraising ability at the provincial level to ensure you sustain those functions that are autonomous to your province. Those were the key issues. We attempted to make a meeting with our governors over the last 3 years. All of you governors would have noted the work that was done by our provincial and local level government and work that was done by central government on clearer views on decentralization. We have not concluded this because the Governors' Council felt that the decentralization work that was done, that started off, in fact, earlier than my time, was work that didn't fully embrace all our conversations on empowering provincial governments. And so that work is still running. I would give an indication to Governor Ipatas and all governors. It will be proper and incumbent on all of us to reconvene at the very earliest to look into these issues. What exactly are the issues of decentralization? What exactly are the issues of empowerment you need at the provincial government? Because one thing we agree here, Mr. Speaker, the government that I lead, in fact, the party that I lead, is a strong proponent of provincial government system. Going forward now, 48 years on, we need to entrench the system, but in a better way, that the systems we establish do not become itself an impediment for proper delivery of services to our people and becomes a well-oiled public service machinery and a government structure and systems that is delivering to expectations of our people. So it will be incumbent on all of us, the central government, national government, rather, and the provincial governments to convene to look on the issues of decentralization, and for the governors to come up with a clearer view and one position on what exactly entails autonomy and what exactly entails decentralization. Now, having said this, Mr. Speaker, not all is as bad as it may seem. The organic law on provincial and local level government is a superior law to all other subsidiary laws that administers function of service delivery in our country. Governors have a superior power, even much higher than the DDAs who are operating the District Development Authority Act. And so all governors, your power is higher. all governors, for instance, your selection of administrator comes through the process that you have a key role inside. Your appointment, for instance, of the, and I just made reference to the provincial administrator. And so power, be as it may known today under the organic law and provincial level government, is there for governors to exercise freedom. In the past, when you have friction with Waigani, I believe in the last 3 years you didn't have friction with Waigani because you have a national government that is working incongruent to your issues you have in your provinces. So, and for further clarity as we go forward, especially in the tit-for-tat debate with DDAs, I think clearly in terms of functional alignment need to be espoused and expanded further, and we come up with a clear definition what is your functions and what is district's functions. And I should end by concluding, district development authorities is not a government. District development authority is just a delivery mechanism set to deliver to our districts and should be working in complementary with the provincial government. And if there is an issue, let us get to attend to this. I do not want to bring Papua New Guinea beyond 2025, 50th independent anniversary, with those structural impediments in the way. We need to clear them before 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.